Do you think it's fair when, like, for instance, at the Oregon Zoo, they have these elephants in these small enclosures that maybe they can walk, I don't know, a few hundred feet this way, a few hundred feet that way. Do you think it's fair when they would probably walk 5-10 miles a day in the wild to keep them in that cage so that we can look at them?
That's not fair.
No.
That's not fair. It's amazing how man need all of that for his pleasure and entertainment, but it's also offensive to nature itself, you know what I'm saying? Because those animals is just as free as man is free. Throw me off.
That's a pretty mic.
If you want to be on camera, we'll just have you scoot in a little more.
Maybe if you could turn, like...
There we go.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah.
That's perfect, actually.
Is that perfect?
That's
That is, yeah.
beautiful. Here,
All right.
I'll give you her so you can find us later.
So what's your name?
I'm Darnell.
My name's Cooper. It's nice to meet
Cooper,
you.
nice to meet you, Cooper.
So we're here talking to people about animals. How do you feel about animals?
I love animals.
You love them?
I love the domestic animals, and I love the zoo animals for the because God made us, you know, gave them life, you know. So I like them.
Yeah.
I just don't play with them. I'm not one that go out and mess with bears and lions and,
Oh, yeah.
and alligators, you know. But
You mind your business.
I mind my business.
I hear you. Have you spent much time around dogs or cats in your life?
I spend a lot of time with dogs and cats. Without dogs and cats, man, they teach us how to love, how to be human, you know what I'm saying? How to care, how to understand that animal needs you
Right.
and depends on you.
Right. And when you're taking care of those animals, does it teach you anything about their feelings?
Oh, it teaches you everything about their feelings. In fact, you know, the strange thing is that I lived a long time not knowing that animals actually had emotions like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the past, I think 30, 40 years, we start to realize that our animal understand more than we think it does.
Right.
Our animal also know how to come and comfort us when they know that you're sad.
Right. They can read our emotions. Yeah.
If you start crying, your animal come and put his paw on you and come by you
Yeah.
for that comfort.
Have you ever witnessed a dog suffer before?
Oh, I've witnessed lots of dogs suffer. People who have animals that abuse them, neglect them,
Right.
and thinking that they're part of property, you know what I'm saying?
It's not fair.
And if you just take an animal, a cat or a dog, and you're not willing to treat it the same way you would treat your child,
Right.
then you missing the whole point.
Yeah, I always think that's a good teaching with our dogs that we care for. Don't do something to them that you wouldn't do to your kid,
Yeah,
right?
that's a fact.
When you think about our situation in 2026, do you think there's anything us humans need from animals in terms of food or clothing or entertainment?
The things that we need from our animals.
Do you think there's anything that we need from them in 2026, or do we have an alternative today?
What do you mean alternative? Getting your needs from elsewhere?
Yeah, like for instance, if somebody was choosing between watching a nature documentary where the fish are free and they kind of have underwater cameras and they can choose to watch that, or go to an aquarium where they have all these wild fish and animals trapped in tanks, which choice do you think is more fair from the animal's perspective?
When you're watching them with the cameras underwater, enjoying their freedom.
Right.
See, I have a computer and connected to a monitor like this. But I don't go on my computer. I do more stuff on my phone. So when I turn my computer on, I go to the aquarium, live aquarium.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And right now, at my apartment, the fish are just floating around on a live camera, which means it's part of my decoration of my apartment.
Right. You can still learn about them and appreciate them without putting them in a tank or a cage, right? Yeah.
Well, see, that's our problem, is that we try to get too much amusement from animals, circus,
Right. Rodeos.
rodeos, trying to entertain them, and the animal is showing you they start to lash out because it's different between.
They're resisting their oppression, right?
Yeah. But there are animals that will understand how to help you when you and protect you. You see what I'm saying? Say, for instance, you raised an elephant from a small baby, took care of it, treated kind, had fun with it. That elephant will protect you with its life.
Yeah.
Knowing that by being so big, can't nothing harm you.
We definitely can build those relationships with them, even if they're so much bigger than us or different from us. Do you think it's fair when, like, for instance, at the Oregon Zoo, they have these elephants in these small enclosures that maybe they can walk, I don't know, a few hundred feet this way, a few hundred feet that way. Do you think it's fair when they would probably walk 5-10 miles a day in the wild to keep them in that cage so that we can look at them?
That's not fair.
No.
That's not fair. It's amazing how man need all of that for his pleasure and entertainment, but it's also offensive to nature itself, you know what I'm saying? Because those animals is just as free as man is free.
Yeah.
And see, man did some atrocities.
I wonder, so in the instance of entertainment, we have another option. Like you were saying, you can put it on your computer screen with a camera where the fish are free. Do you think we have a similar additional option? Do you think we have another option in terms of food where we don't have to use animals in 2026? Do you think we have an alternative?
Well, when it comes to food, we can become vegetarian or vegan. There's all lots of stuff. In fact, I had a friend that he's vegan.
Right.
And he said, man, I ordered some burgers. And I said, vegan burgers? I said, I want to try one.
Right.
And so I went half with him.
Uh-huh.
And man, that was so delicious.
It was a good burger, right?
It was a good burger.
Right.
And,
So I wonder if you could get that pleasure and you can get all your nutrients from plants and you know these animals suffer, do you think it's fair for us to continue using them?
No, it's not fair.
No?
It's no fairer than in anything else that we continue to do, you know what I'm saying? But
You mentioned veganism. I wonder, when you think about how it's defined or what veganism is, what are your thoughts?
well, I think it's non-meat products.
Just finding alternatives, right?
Yeah, find alternatives. That's the main thing is
Right.
that we don't have to continue slaughtering animals for their meat, and because a lot of people, if they knew how we were slaughtering those animals, it'll turn their appetite away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we make it look pretty, and we don't see it until you get to the grocery store. A nice juicy steak or this
Yeah.
or that, you know.
Yeah.
But
There's a disconnection, right?
there's a serious disconnection.
Yeah. We define veganism, it's similar to what you were saying, as a principle against using animals if we have the choice. If I'm in the middle of the woods and I don't have a choice, it kind of makes it challenging. But if we're here in Portland and we don't need to eat animals or wear their skin or go to the zoo and we have alternatives, do you think that we should not use animals when we can?
I think so, but the strange thing, see, I live to be 70, and man, there's certain things that man is not going to do. He's going to continue to abuse himself, others, the land, the animals. It's not going to go away. What some of them do
There's
is,
big systems.
yeah, some of them can get educated to say, you know what, I got second thoughts on that. You know, I wanna,
Right. There's a big systems, and it's so they can kind of become overwhelming. They're so big. There's so many animals, but there's a certain number of animals who enter the slaughterhouse for each one of us personally. There's a certain amount who are going through that process because of our demand. I wonder, do you think it would be in alignment with your own principles, since you know these animals suffer and we have another choice? Would it be in alignment with your principles to live vegan, do you think?
That would be the more righteous thing to do is to try to live without killing animals just for our pleasure, because we realize that we can kill a large animal and it's just for a small part of them, and you throw the other for waste.
Yeah, it's a wasteful process
Yeah,
as well.
And it just go on and on. Now, I believe, I don't know if it's somewhere in the Bible that says only eat what you kill, you know, or whatever you kill, make sure it's for you to eat, to
Right.
survive, to live. But if you just kill it to hang it up on your wall,
Right.
a bear, a deer.
There's a difference between the survival and kind of needless.
Well,
right?
But we always been needless, and there's a group of people who believe that not only do we hunt animals, we had the opportunity, we'll hunt people the same way.
But that's not good, right? We should oppose this as individuals or not contribute to when humans are harmed, right?
Well, we're going to have to oppose it because we're getting closer to our last days here on Earth, you know what I'm saying?
With climate change, yeah.
And climate change, even just having administrative change,
Yeah.
turning us back into time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think we're always going to have a 30 to 35% that's just not going to change. The only thing we got going for...
Do you want to be part of that group that is willing to change so that the world's a better place for both humans and the animals we share the planet with?
I am a part of that group.
You're a part of it?
I don't hunt and fish and do all that type of stuff because I can walk to the grocery store and get it. And plus...
Do you think it's fair if you're walking through the grocery store and you could pick up the can of beans or the bag of beans or the tofu or the mock meat that you said tasted really good, right? The mock burger. If you could pick up those instead of the animal flesh, do you think it's justified to continue picking up the flesh or the eggs or the milk?
That would be good, but meat eaters, I think it's in their blood, It's
It's a habit for them?
Yeah, the only way they can get away from eating meat is that our doctors tell us that, I know why man has trouble with colon cancer and prostate cancer and all these different types of cancer is because he's eating meat that his system can't digest. See, man was not made to take a steak and a minute on this side and a minute on that side and it's juicy red and let me eat it. Because the Bible tells you don't eat the blood of an animal.
Yeah.
Only animals is able to process raw meat.
Yeah, we have to cook it up, right, in
Yeah, we
order
have
just
to
to not
cook
get
it
a
up.
disease. But even then, we still might clog up our arteries and get heart disease.
That if you ate a steak every day,
Right.
what's going to happen? Just like what happened to John Wayne. John Wayne, you heard of John Wayne?
I'm not too
The
familiar.
cowboy, John Wayne.
Oh, I know the figure, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him.
Well, what happened to him, he lived in New York, a big star. Every time he go to this 5-star restaurant, they give him a big juicy steak and a big potato with all the trimmings and the fixings, and he eat it. But the problem he had was that his system couldn't digest that meat that fast.
Yeah.
And so it killed him because he developed cancer in the colon.
Yeah, there's certainly health consequences to this injustice towards the animals that we share the planet with. There's these health consequences to ourselves as well. I wonder, maybe a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
When you think about your own principles and your preferences, how many more animals would you prefer enter the slaughterhouse for you in the future?
How many more?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say they enter the slaughterhouse for me because I eat more poultry and seafood than I eat anything.
Do you think the birds enter a slaughterhouse and that the fish aren't pulled out of the water and killed too?
The birds enter a slaughterhouse?
Yeah, like the chickens, they also enter a slaughterhouse too.
Oh, yeah. They in the slaughterhouse.
Like,
the
how
fish
many-
in the sea enter our skillet. As far as somebody fishing, they get hooked and we eat it. But
When you think about what's fair, how many more animals do you think or do you prefer would go through that process for you in the future?
how many more animals will go through the process of what being saved or not eaten?
Or how many more would you prefer are exploited and killed and chopped up?
Oh, how many more?
For you, yeah. Because there's a certain amount, because like you and I aren't responsible for all the animals being chopped up because there's so many. But there's a certain amount that you and I are responsible for, right? So I'm just wondering, like, how many more would you prefer are in that position for you in the future?
I don't know, man. Being 70 years old, man, it's hard to say that I would change anything other than that. I just know that I'm not one of the ones that go out to kill the animals. See, if I was a farmer, I would have to kill my pig, kill my cow, and deer and lamb and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I wonder, would you ever be willing, because I know knowledge is power, would you ever be willing to watch a documentary that connects with the practices in farms and slaughterhouses?
I've seen many of them.
And how does it make you feel when you watch them?
Well, it makes me understand more than have feeling. It makes me understand that we kill a lot of the animals and the sea creatures that wanted freedom just like we wanted to be
Right.
free. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's fair or just if that's happening when all of us humans had another option?
It's not fair and just. We're doing even more than what you and I are speaking. We're even taking their eggs
Yeah.
and destroying their eggs, eating their eggs.
Do you know that all of the birds that enter the egg industry, they might live 5 or 7 years if their life wasn't taken, but they're killed at about 18 months old because that's when they start to lay less eggs in their lifespan. So something that a lot of people don't know is that every chicken that enters that industry, they're also killed. And another thing to think about is the selective breeding. I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but the ancestors of the birds that lay eggs, they might have laid about an egg every month, about once a month, because it's kind of similar to their menstrual cycle. But the birds that are in sheds today, in farms today, they lay about an egg every single day because we've selectively bred them so much over the years that they have to use all these nutrients in their body to push out an egg every day just so humans can put it on their toast or something. And then they're killed a fraction into their lifespan.
That's something, man. The main problem is that right now in society and life in this world, the misuse of our animals, the misuse of people.
It's all connected.
It's all connected, and so we're not willing to do much for any of them. The way things is that the status quo. The only thing we have going is the 60% that's against that. Because there's a 40% that say we're not changing, we're going to do that. In fact, we're going to
The exclusionary, the really bigoted exclusionary crowd.
And so those are the same ones that would go fishing, shoot a bear, or shoot another human being.
We don't. I don't feel like we have hope to reach them. I don't know if there's hope that we're going to convince those people. But compassionate people like you who care about dogs and you know they suffer and you know these animals suffer, I wonder, would you be willing to watch? We have the most recent documentary that's showing these most recent practices.
Right.
I wonder if you'd be willing to watch it so that you could be an informed consumer and you could know whether you want to continue.
Now?
It's on YouTube.
What's the name of it?
It's called Dominion.
Dominion?
Yeah, let me hand you a card just in case you forget
I
it.
got one.
It is
Is it
right.
on this card?
Let's see. Oh, you've got one. Sorry. Yeah, it's on there. Everything's on there. If you look up anti-animal use, it says it right down here. It'll.
Yeah, I probably have something to watch tonight, you know.
Yeah. Food for thought, right?
Food for thought.
All right.
Hey.
Well, I appreciate your time here.
Well, no problem, man. You guys doing good work. It's always nice to stop and chit-chat and see what's going on, you know. On the other corner, they have stop arming Israel.
Oh, that's excellent.
And so I think what it is that we are starting to wake up slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Because we got to understand that we don't do anything about climate change.
It's all interconnected. All of these injustices, the way that we oppress humans and other animals, it's all connected. We're trying to stand against all of it here.
And that's what we have to do, man, because a lot of us sit on the couch for a long time, you know, because it didn't affect them.
Right.
It wasn't their concern, and nothing is going to change. And then those who marched and protested and came out to contest things took the firing line. You know, now people are starting to wake up.
Yeah.
Because I remember you guys weren't even born back in the '60s. We had a lot of talks like this.
Yeah.
What we're doing to the animals.
Raising consciousness about the things that are wrong in this world.
And then so it's been multiplying and picking up ever since in the last 60 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're in our conscious thinking because we're killing way too much animals and discarding them. And then in some cases, we won't even give it to those who are actually starving in this country.
Right.
We throw it away and say you can't have it.
Yeah, there's a lot of food waste.
Yeah, it's a lot of food waste, especially for the amount that we're killing, you know.
Yeah.
You would think that everybody was fat cats, but even with all that we're killing, everybody's still not
Yeah.
eating.
If you found out that there were more than enough plants to go around for all of the humans in the world, would you think that's the direction we should be going as a species? Should we be transitioning to that plant food system that doesn't require animals to be used and killed for us?
Well, it would be more of we would have to come from a spiritual concept, because all the plants and the existence of roots of plants is associated with our food and our medicine.
Right.
We get medicine from our plants,
Yeah.
but we won't transfer to say, hey, listen, God created this earth and put all these things in it, and it was for a purpose. Animals wasn't meant for us to kill and eat.
Yeah.
Uh,
If we have another choice today, do you think that you and I should participate in that process of picking up those products and having animals killed in the background, out of sight, out of mind? Do you think we should continue participating if we don't need to?
Sure, you should continue to participate.
We should or shouldn't participate in that violence towards
Oh
animals?
no, we shouldn't participate. I thought you said picking up stuff that's not of all those animals and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's
Yeah, I
just,
really appreciate your time. You're a really open-minded person, and I encourage you to check out that documentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. Give me something to watch tonight. They say, we Google, YouTube. YouTube is the most educational thing we have.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Yeah.
And you can prescribe to any type of podcast you want that favors you or your
Yeah.
welfare, or you can just learn about all kinds of things. Now,
Yeah.
let me show you what I was talking about for as far as I'm gonna show you what's at my house right now. You see that?
Oh, I see. I love that.
And I play that. I play that just like this. I play that when.
And the fish
I'm
don't
at
have to be in a
home.
tank, right?
Yeah, it don't have to be in the tank. This is on my monitoring screen. It's about 36 inches. Then I have a computer right here. Then I have a big screen behind me.
This is so much better than aquariums because they're free.
From the TV to the computer,
Yeah.
to the phone, and all that same information.
Yeah.
And then this is it's part of my furniture. You know, I can sit there and meditate,
Yeah.
and they give you little soft music for meditation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll ask you one final question.
Have to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't have to. They don't have to be in a tank so we can see them.
No,
We
they
can
don't have to
appreciate
be
their
in a
glory
tank.
without
Just,
it. I'll ask you one more question real quick before we wrap up. When you're watching that on YouTube and you're seeing these violent systems that animals are forced to endure, when you're watching it, keep in mind that there's a certain amount of that that's happening right now because of you. And if you want to change that, if you want to start being against that, the way to do that is to live a vegan ethic.
Uh-huh.
And that's just what we're raising awareness today about. And
Like I said, man, when I tried that vegan burger, man, I had to call my friend and say, man, that was delicious.
yeah, you won't miss out, right?
Especially knowing that it's a non-meat product.
Right.
And it's going to go straight to your system.
Right. It's better for your body. It's so much better for the animal. Yeah.
In fact, if people are raised on vegetarian and vegan, if they raised that way, you know what happens when they eat the first bite of meat? It makes them sick.
Yeah. Kind of. It's almost like poison. Yeah.
Exactly, it's like poison.
Yeah.
Makes them sick.
Well, I appreciate your time. It's been a great conversation.
Well, same here, man.
And you enjoy this?
You guys be safe and keep spreading the word.
All right, we will do.
Okay, now.
You have a good one.
All right, take care.